welcome to the next episode of Satisfactory. So I accidentally deleted some footage. I'm not gonna lie. I need some space on the hard drive, and I just wasn't thinking, and it happened. So we did a couple things off camera, I guess, at this point. Not too much. We really just added a couple more dimensional depots, just because this episode I want to get computers up and running, and the computers we do have might be enough for a train station or two. And what I want to do is I want to move to our main base. I haven't built anything yet. Don't worry, it's not like I built a castle or anything off camera. Haven't built anything at all yet. This is going to be one of our areas, one of our, proxy bases that we will pick up stuff from the train station with. And one big thing I did do off camera at this point is this. So we made the summer sloop thing, researched it, and now we're getting an extra, I think it's 1155 power out of this just for free. And that's really the biggest thing that happened. This thing isn't crazy. The alien power augmenter, it just takes a summer sloop and some of the SAM stuff. I also just started pulling stuff. We have all we need to make the what is this? The SAM fluctuators. I just started pulling it out of our bins here and putting it in here. I also put some summer sloops in here as well, so we get a little extra per craft. It won't stay like this forever. This is very temporary. I just wanted to get those going so we could do more research on the dimensional depots, which I also did that between episodes. Go to Alien Tech here. I've researched the power augmenter, and I've done some uploading, some personal, and some storage. Now I just need more Mercer spheres. That's what they are. We need some more of those, but now our inventory is nice, so we can go ahead and build lots of things without having to come back as often, which is ideal. And then one other thing I did between episodes at this point that I really wanted to get that. I'm mad that's gone. That was a big thing. Although it just takes, 3 seconds to place it down. And then I will show you the other thing that I did in the now deleted footage. So as we approach our oil area, I did, between episodes again, I know this sounds like one of those Minecraft. I did some mining off camera and built Diamond Fortress or whatever. We have a new water extractor down here, and that's because when I was doing all the exploring and I was getting the summer sloops and the Mercer spheres and everything, I was really just going for a lot of hard drives. And because I wanted to get a lot of alternate recipes, mainly for this alternate recipe that we are now using over here. And this area over here is actually our circuit setup for computers. We're not making that many. We're making 20 a minute. So it's not that, it's nothing crazy. And we're using the petroleum coke and rubber alternate recipe. I'm pretty sure this is alternate. I don't think it's the alternate electrode circuit board. I don't think it's the best recipe, but it's really convenient because I don't have to do anything. I guess make the circuits in our oil area, which is really nice. The rubber we're already making. And then over here is our petroleum coke stuff. And that's using an alternate recipe that I was looking for mainly. And that's the heavy oil residue. So that means we're just pumping crude oil and just getting straight heavy oil residue out instead of making, only 10 or 20 per minute with, the plastic and rubber. Now we're making 40, which is really nice. We'll definitely be expanding our oil power with that recipe. That's what I really did want. Most of these, I think, except, so we have 1, 2, 3 of these. Let's see. So they're all making the same recipe here. I forgot. It's been a little bit. So we're making 120. No, there's 4. We're making 160 crude oil and then 80 polymer resin. Polymer resin, I don't care about. It's just a byproduct of what I'm trying to do. So what we're doing here is I'm just belting it all underneath, and then we're using it to make plastic. And then we needed the water down below to make the plastic. So here we're making 20, and then here we're making 6.66. It's basically 2/3. Because we don't have enough polymer resin to support it. Well, we shouldn't. But it almost looks like we do. No, it's still It just evenly, it's all good now. So yeah, we're making about an extra 26 plastic, and that's just pure. We're making it just because. And this plastic gets belted all the way back to our initial plastic storage. And to feed that rubber over there, we are pulling rubber from our initial factory over here. And I have some signs left here that says, you know, making 126.6 minutes or 126.6 plastic per minute. And this is 120 rubber per minute left. And that's because we're pulling out rubber to supply to here. And then I kind of skipped past the petroleum coke and went straight to the plastic. With the petroleum coke, we're making 120 a minute of that. We definitely don't need that much, and all 4 of those are making 480 petroleum coke a minute. We don't need 480. So any petroleum coke that is not used in these recipes, which is 40, so we're making 1, 2, 4. We're using 160 out of the 480. So we have a lot left over, and then we're just sinking the rest of it. Because if you let it back up, then every other process stops, and this whole thing stops. But yeah, we're sinking that. Anything else I did between episodes at this point? I don't think so. I think that's it. And I'm going to stop yapping because I kind of want to get into... We won't build our computer factory just yet. I want to go find our permanent base. And I do have an idea of where I want it to be. So if we open up the map here, I want the base to be here. It's in a pretty central location relatively, at least way more than central. More central than where we are now. That, and if you go on to the satisfactorycalculator.com and you look at the map, you look at pure nodes, there's a bigger concentration. The biggest grouping of them is like there's a big group of here and a big group here, and then a little bit others scattered around. And there are pure nodes, you know, scattered across the map. However, there's the biggest concentration of them is right here. There's like at least like 10 or 15, maybe I'm miscounting, but 10 or 15 pure nodes just in this general area right here. And the rest is just kind of, it's scattered so far. The other pure nodes are scattered so far apart that it just wouldn't make sense to make the mega base there, if that's what you're going for. I'm trying to go take it to approach that our trains have to transport the least amount of resources as possible. So it makes sense to set up shop next to the most concentrated area of pure nodes. So I'm going to go over there and scout the place out, see what it actually looks like. I have not been there yet, and I will come back to you guys when we are there. I've decided that we'll be making a lot of trips back and forth, so I've never made a cannon before. Let's see. This is the only way I can get it to like actually register that I want to shoot at that angle, so we'll see how this goes. Well, we got an achievement. Survive a fall on 1 health point. So if you want to get that achievement, that's how you do it. You just stack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And yeah, send it. So you're welcome. All right, let's try it this way. Not exactly where I want to go, but hopefully it's good enough. We're gonna need a lot more power. Yep, we're gonna need a lot more. Might as well see what's going on up here. Yep. All right. We'll need at least... We'll need at least twice as much as that, I think. Let's see. How far are we? Oh my. 3. Maybe even 4 times as much. All right. Attempt number 2. Oh, wait. I didn't hook him up. Whoopsie. That would have been embarrassing. All right. Attempt number 2, officially starting. And whenever I want to turn them off, I just unhook that one. Okay. So far, so good. This could be it. How far are we? We're getting there. Alright, I was just thinking, I was going to run power lines all the way over to the new base. Well, new site of the base. But that just doesn't make sense, because I forgot that you could do train stations. And they allow you to pretty much transfer power. There's our first train station. I got a little carried away. Again, as per usual. If we look up here, we're at the new base area. Nothing crazy's happened yet, but as you can see, there's a little bit of train action going off in the distance. And if we turn behind us, I have the initial train station set up for all of our trains that'll be incoming. So this will be all of our import stuff. I don't think we'll be exporting anything from this place, but if we do, I could easily just expand this platform and have more. But all these are dedicated to certain things. Like this is for bauxite. We don't have it yet. Uranium, don't have it yet. SAM or sulfur. We got quartz, limestone, thorium, steel, copper, and iron. So if we actually just go ahead and come over here, that way trains can go whichever direction is faster for them to get to their destination. So they either go that way or this way, and they'll never run into each other because it's a 2-lane. And if you're wondering, yes, these tracks go around the entire map. Like I said, it's been a long time. I've done a lot of teardowns. I've gotten really good at placing a lot of track very quickly. I'll tell you that right now. Bee jumping, bee hopping with some turbo fuel and just skill. So anyway, this kind of where the highway goes. It goes from here, then it goes over here, then down, and then over, and then back up, and then back over here. That way, anything that we need to do, we just branch off of that main line, and we don't need to connect so many weird lines all over the place. Although I do have to say, handling myself from base to base does not get old. This boombox is pretty sick. Remember how we had no power problems? Well, let's just say with all these train stations, we're going to have power problems. We're not using it all by any means, but our max consumption has quickly caught up to this. But with our new oil recipe for heavy oil residue, that's not something I'm too worried about. I think one way to get better power, though, is to overclock it. So now that we have enough summer sloops and everything, I think it's time to start getting our actual power shards out of it. Look at those slugs on the belt. Yes. Look at all these power shards. I've never seen them on belts before. Very cool. That seems to be the last of them. Go ahead and pick up this thing. And let's see how many power shards we got. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 787 power shards. That should get us a little ways through things. So we take all of our... Get out of here. No one's here. We take it and just pump these with... just pump them. See how much power we can get. So in total, we'll be able to pump out 2,250 oil per minute. And that's not including this one because I'm just going to leave that one as it is. Which also will give us 1,500 polymer resin per minute. Which then translates to about 2,400 turbo fuel per minute. Which actually directly translates, since it's a 1-to-1, we will need 2,400 compacted coal. Very nice. And the coal and sulfur is a 1-to-1, so we need 2,400 sulfur per minute and 2,400 coal per minute. So the limiting factor here is for sure going to be how much coal and sulfur we can pull, because these coal nodes absolutely are not going to cut it. We're only pulling out 2 of the 3, I think. Yeah, there's a third one over there. And 1 of the 3 sulfur nodes. But I'm pretty sure all these coal nodes are normal, and they're pulling out 120. And so we're pulling out, what, a total of 240? 240? And then is this one up here also normal? What are you doing up here, buddy? This is... I don't know if you heard this or not, but this is my land now. Yeah, so we have 360 coal, which is, if you can do math, a lot less than 2,400. So if we stack this with this, though, we get 300. So we get pulled 900 out. In theory, we could pull 900. I know there's another coal, set of coal over there, but we also need sulfur, and we just need a lot more. So let's pull, or I can't talk right now. Pull a lot more resources towards this area. So what we're gonna have to do here is grab all the coal and sulfur we can in the area, not use a Mark 3 miner. We'll have to use Mark 4 belts and belt it all in on its own belt. Overclock the shit out of all of it. And just do it that way. So I'm gonna get started on that. We might also need some more concrete, because between making the bridge across the entire map and making those giant platforms at the new base, we've exhausted pretty much all of our concrete. I've emptied this thing like twice. Alright, so I have our sulfur belts kind of set up here. We'll probably need to pull a little bit more, but out of this setup with overclock and everything, we're pulling about 930 per minute. We could pull more. These are fully overclocked, but this one's not, because we just don't have a belt that can support more than 480 per minute right now. So we run into a belt issue. So we can't even like split it or anything out of there. We simply just can't pull it out fast enough. So we had to keep that to 2 power shards instead of 3. So now I need to go up and set to make sure we're pulling at least 930 coal. The coal I'm not worried about, because apparently there's 2 more nodes over here that I'm not using. So we have 2 nodes over there. I need to find another sulfur node. I think that's going to be our problem here. I need to find out just how much, or where the next sulfur one is. I feel like it's in this direction, but I need to find it. There's the ones we have. Could be wrong. There it is, 1,000 meters that way. And on the way here, I didn't even notice, but there are other 2 coal nodes that we can also hit up if we need. So I'm just going to belt this across the void with the... Oh my god, look at those spiders. I'll probably belt it across this, actually, and just exterminate any... I'll exterminate all the bugs. And this is a pure node as well, so that's really going to work in our favor here. Alright, well, with sulfur as our constraints, with the belts and the miners we have available, 1410 is as much as we can pull in. Again, that's limited by the sulfur, not the coal. So we'll have to work backwards from here. And what I'm going to do to set this up is I'm going to leave everything the way it is now and like leave it all. And then I'm going to set up a whole thing for constructors and all that over here. And then once I have everything set up and ready to go, then I'll just disconnect this and delete all this. Just because this is our main power source, so we need it. Yeah, I'll get constructing that, and then we'll get constructing however much. We'll work backwards from there. And we're going to need 56.4 assemblers, so we only have the assembler Mark 1, or the blueprint thing Mark 1, which is unfortunate, but I'm now realizing there's enough room to layer these bad boys on top of each other. That's what we're going to do. We'll be able to fit 6 per thing here, which will be okay. I wanted the Mark II, but it costs too much, which is why you can see I have the blueprint Mark II up there. We'll work towards that pretty soon, but we need to get this done first. Alright, I finished the blueprint here. Basically what we're doing is exactly what you'd expect. We're just taking 3, which is as much as can fit in here, splitting it up manifold style, and then stacking that above itself manifold style. So now we're going to do 6 per blueprint, which is nice. Actually, I don't think I set these. There we go. And then I'll have to get some kind of splitting / sorting system so that we can evenly split everything exactly where it needs to go. Because 1410 is kind of a weird number. Does not go into... it's not a multiple of 25. So we'll have to do something about that. A good thing we're solving a power problem. Man, oh man. Am I glad I made a blueprint of this? Here's our wall of assemblers that we need to process all of this. We need 56.4. So we need every single one of these at full strength, except for this one right here. This one go down to 40, and then we're just not going to use these. But I wanted to build a whole nother blueprint, so if we ever decide to like upgrade our miners to Mark III and all that, and upgrade these belts, we'll be able to continue add on to our what am I saying here? our blueprint. But yeah, that who knows how much time that saved. And now it all looks good and everything. Fantastic. All I'm saying is I might have just created the best manifold system in the history of Satisfactory. We are manifolding the manifolds right now. Each one of these systems up here is a manifold, and I've run some verticality here to get the things, get the resources up there, and then to equally load, not equally, but get it to where everything's being used at 100% efficiency. As you can see on the right side here, if I look down here, we're pulling 1,410 sulfur and coal per minute, which equates to about 2.937 Mark IV belts, which means we're going to pump in 3, and we won't need the whole 3, but you'll see where I'm going with this in a second. So each layer will be supplied by a 480 belt, when each layer only needs 225 per minute. So each Mark IV belt we're splitting into 2. And these Mark IVs turn into Mark III, so it can still carry everything we need to carry. And each layer needs 225, and each Mark IV belt gets split into 2. So each Mark IV belt gets split into 2 belts. Even though we only need 250 in total, but we're supplying, or sorry, we only need 450 in total, but we're supplying 480. So that leaves us with 30 left over here, and then 30 left over in this one. And then the 60 that are left over from those two will go ahead and fold into this one, which is the last one here. And this is where our top one up there is underclocked. So this one will be the last to get all of its stuff, but all the 60 left over will come in here, and that layer needs 60 up there, so then it'll get its 60 that it needs. And then this system, or this last one, so these two will get smart splittered off underneath here and merged back into here, where it will then go ahead and just directly send it out. So these aren't getting split, they're just merged into a single belt. Each will have 60 on it. So these two will overflow for sure, and then this one, it shouldn't overflow, but I hooked it up just in case. This one should never overflow, it should just be these two, depending on how I hook it up. But yeah, that's the manifold system for supplying the manifolds. Alright, I just did the math, and to be able to work it backwards, since sulfur and coal was sulfur is our bottleneck, put it that way. We need 47 refineries. It actually worked out perfectly evenly, shockingly, after all this shenanigans going on. We need 47 refineries even, and we'll need, which I mean, that produces, so we need 47 refineries to make, I forgot to do the math. We need 47 refineries just to make this recipe right here, the compacted coal and this. So I need to do more math. All right, there's the rest of the math. So we need 47 refineries for the turbo fuel to get the 1762.5 heavy oil per minute. Oh, well, okay, so those 47 refineries for turbo fuel, they need 1762.5 heavy oil, and to make the heavy oil, we need 44.06 refineries to make the heavy oil, and to make all that heavy oil, we only need 1321.875 crude oil, for a grand total of 91 refineries. I'm in the middle of making the blueprint, and realize this is gonna be a lot easier if we just get Mark II pipelines. So I went ahead in the awesome shop and bought the heavy modular frames that we needed, and then the rest I will just go ahead and pull out from here. So we need 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 2 3 4 5, and here we go. I haven't done this in so long. Just beating a milestone. Oh, I need those pipes though.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are recorded instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
So it's nice. A pipeline Mark II can now supply us with, so it has a 600 flow rate, and we are getting 30, so we can get a solid 20 of these down. So we really only need like 20, or not 20, sorry, 2 of these big pipes, and then just go from there, really. We'll need like one smaller one, but it'll get whatever it needs. All right, so I think I bit off a little more than I can chew. So I'm either going to end the episode here or go ahead and just finish out the rest of this and hook it up. And then you guys will see what it looks like at the end. And I think that's what I'm going to do. This is the blueprint for, which one is this again? Turbo fuel. Also, just as a side note, I went ahead and disconnected the pipes that came out to the edges here because I don't trust pipes that connect to each other like that. Like I trust belts. So I'm going to finish this all up. Hook everything up, so you guys will see the finished product, and then we'll end the episode there. Jeez, I can't talk. All right, looks like our compactor coal setup is more or less working the way I expected. Once I have everything set up, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the switch and make sure everything runs smoothly. I think I've calculated everything correctly, but just a side note, I'm sure everyone else knows this, but I didn't know this. If you put conveyor belts on the edge of your blueprint, it won't connect to the other edge of the blueprint. So if you have like a conveyor belt going to the end of your blueprint and then you attach it to another blueprint that has another conveyor belt like touching each other, they won't actually connect. So just be aware of that. Yeah, I think this should get the job done for now. I have not switched everything over yet. I'm just making sure. So all the belts are full. All that I have to do now is pretty much get rid of this splitter here and just have this belt go straight into there, and also get rid of this splitter here and have this belt go straight. Get rid of this splitter and have this belt go straight over here, and then it'll be running at max efficiency, how it should be running. Right now, I'm kind of like letting everything run to make sure all the conveyor belts are connected and to get ourselves a backlog. So I also went through and we're producing everything, and then made sure everything hooked up back here for our compacted coal. All the floors are set up correctly, and then they all just kind of go to wherever they're supposed to go. One row of refineries can take 3 rows of this. That way I have it like coming over one, and then each row can supply 7.5 refineries. So if we just come all the way down here and then check this, then it stops here. This is refinery number 8, but I have it at 50%, so it's like 7.5. And then the other ones go top of it and restart the line there. So I've also done a little bit of math. Each row of refineries can take in 20, more or less 20-ish, maybe 23 refineries with the underclocking and all that. And then the final 3 need their own separate line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook all of these up to, well, both of those. Oh, God. I'm hooked both of these up to one pipeline, and then the rest of these. So this will have its own pipeline, its own dedicated pipeline of oil pumps. The second row will have its own dedicated pipeline of pumps, and then this part over here will have this row right here, and then there will have its own dedicated stuff connected together. And then I'll probably just connect those up with the other one over here, because there's another 3 over here, so we need to I think there's only 2 over here. I have 3 because of the blueprint size. Oh, God. But I'm pretty sure I underclocked. Yeah, this wasn't even connected. So, yeah, I'll hook it all the way up over here, and then we will have our output. I need to hook this up. No, I need to hook this up. That's fine. All the turbo fuel will come out the back here, and it'll all go into 1 or more pipelines. I'm not sure. All right, a little check-in here. It's many hours later. We have our polymer resin coming over here to make our plastic and rubber. We're doing 8 refineries for plastic. This needs a full 480 belt, and then 200 rubber. Or 10 refineries for rubber. We're doing 201 rubber a minute and 160 plastic a minute. This factory is not at all meant for plastic or rubber. That's just a byproduct. I might as well use it instead of sinking it. You could just sink the polymer resin and be done with it, but I figured we might as well use it and then sink what we don't need over there. So right here, we're bringing it down. We have a double buffer a single buffer really going on. Not really sure why I did this way. Now that I'm looking at it, my brain's kind of fried. So you could just do a single and have one singular splitter here. It'll accomplish the same goal. So I'm not really sure why I did this way, to be honest, but I did. So here we are. Our plastic is coming in. Our rubber is not coming in yet because we have not set up that line. I'm just slowly bringing this on because if we check on our power here, you can see our max consumption has far surpassed our capacity at this point. And you'll see over on the right hand side I added some batteries. And here's some batteries just in case something went really crazy. I need to turn something off in a split second or something like that. We have some batteries here. But all I have to do now really is come back to our oil setup. Also, we're pumping water from underneath here. There's a lake underneath here. Let's come over here and just take a look. So you see that's where our water's coming from. All the water we need is coming out of those 5 pumps. All underclocked, I'm pretty sure. And then I haven't touched this over here. But our oil pipes are here underneath the whole platform. We have a 600. They all need to be 600. Well, at least close 600 as I can get them. This pipe right here, 600, is hooked into a pure node there. And that one's got 240, so it's a normal node. Plus this, we got 150. So yeah. There's 150. Plus the 240, so that's 390. So we still need quite a bit more oil. Alright, I'm back. This took forever. I fucking hate pipes with a burning passion now. They just... I'm not gonna yap. Let's get into it on the episode here, because this episode's taken... I don't even know how many hours at this point. It's ridiculous. Let's go ahead and hop in the hypertube and see here. We'll do a quick once over of everything again while everything is running in full effect. As you can see, we have all of our generators up and running now. I don't think those were in the last time we had our cut. We have a total of 188 generators for a grand total of 47,000 megawatts of power. So let's start where this all begins. I'm not going to go all the way over there, but we're pulling the oil over from over there in the oil area where we were before for other generators. I also cleaned those up, got them out of the way. I'll probably remove all that at some point, but I'm leaving the rest of those there just for now. Just because I'm going to use those to make turbo fuel for our backpack, package turbo fuel. And I'm also going to use the rest of it just to make more plastic and, what do you call it? Plastic and rubber. My brain's fried. So over here, we'll start over here and work our way backwards. This is where all of our polymer resin's coming from. So we're pumping in all the oil. As you can see, these are 3 pipes here that I showed last time. They're going underground. They're all doing what they're supposed to do, pumping as much oil as they can. We have a 591. It fluctuates a little bit, but all these are running at 100% efficiency. That's all that really matters to me. I don't really care if the pumps are running at 100% efficiency. As long as we're getting all the oil needed into these refineries, I don't care. But they're pretty close to 100%. The pumps are probably at like 95, 93% efficiency. Everything in this factory is at 100% though. The polymer stuff, 100%. Every refinery here. So this whole section of refineries is responsible for making the heavy fuel, and the polymer resin, like I said, it's a byproduct that gets thrown over there to make up plastic and rubber. Won't go through that again. And then the heavy oil gets piped over here, and we have all of our different sections. So we don't. There's no need for pumps, because bottom section, pretty much almost the entire bottom section goes here and supplies most of this section, and then the little rest of it supplies that. And then all the leftover heavy oil on the way it gets separated comes down here, supplies this for that leftover, then supplies this for that leftover, and it all works out to exactly as much as everyone needs. And then again, our compactor coal getting belted over from our compacting coal setup. So we got 3 layers of compacted coal to 1 layer of refineries, and everything works out to 100% efficiency. Let's see what else. Yeah, so all these working at 100%, 100%, 100%. All getting piped up. Some of these overlapping. I don't care anymore. One of these days I'll make a factory look good, but for now it's just, you know, efficiency is the name of the game here. So then, yeah, we're piping in all of our coal and sulfur, and as you can see, it's all getting piped in at, you know, pretty much max pace here. Everyone gets to their own belts. Overflow goes to where it needs to go with the smart splitters going under and over and supplying that. Coffee break. And then, yeah, if we come over here, it took me the longest time actually not to set up the refinery, not to set up that, not to set up those, but to set up these stupid generators. We need the most of them. You know, we only need like 90 something refineries in total. We need the 188 generators. Um, but for some reason, I don't, dude, the liquids, the turbo fuel in particular was just not cooperating at all. Like the way it was deciding to manifold itself was really weird. Some of the things, so like I had to go up a layer because some of the ground was in the way, and just some of the stuff. It just shouldn't have needed to have been, had to have a lift installed for it, because it wasn't 10 meters, it was 8. For some reason, it just wouldn't go up. I don't know what that was about. And then sometimes the head lift just wouldn't work, and I have to like replace. I'll show you when I go over there. But if we come into here, it's a good idea to have a fluid buffer on this because you have a lot of inputs going into a whole lot of outputs. So it's just easier to go into here and see that our net here is 0. We're not gaining or losing anything. We're at a solid standstill, a solid 100% efficiency. 100% efficiency. This kind of fluctuates a little bit, but I think it's just a game bug because it's saying we're filling it with 602 and draining it at 602, but we can't fill it with 602. We can only fill with 600 in total. So I think it's just a weird thing. And then this, I'm not sure if it's evened out yet. I don't care. No, it's still fluctuating a little bit. It says we're inputting at 600, but it's physically impossible for everything I've hooked up to this. I've counted it. This can only input 210 tops. But for some reason, it's like, oh, you're inputting 600 at this moment. And it's just not possible. I put valves on this so nothing comes out this way. Everything only goes in. Everything only goes out that way. So I don't know. Truly do not know. Maybe it's coming back in for some reason, in which case maybe I should put another valve here now that I think about it. Yeah. Go ahead and put a valve there. Is that gonna cut us down? Maybe. But it should even out at some point this way. At some point, hopefully. And then, yeah. That's this. And then we come over to where I can show you. Where did I have trouble? I have trouble here. So for some reason, it needs head lift starting right here, even though that's just a fucking lie. It doesn't. It's not 10 meters. It's gone up like 4 tops. Gone up 4 meters. So you still have another 12 meters here, which, I mean, fine, fair enough. You need some kind of pump. Like, I had a pump here for a while, and it just wasn't. I had it right there. It was not reaching here. It was a Mark II pump. It should have more than blasted through. For some reason, it just wasn't working. This was pumping everything, but it just wasn't working. And then I put another pump up here, remove this, and then this worked for a little bit, but then it just stopped. And then I replaced it right back here, and then it just started working and it hasn't stopped working since. So I have no idea what's going on. And like I said, it's not a supply issue because we're 100% efficient with this entire factory. So yeah, not really sure what's going on, but at this point, I'm 7 minutes into my ramble session. Hope you guys enjoy the factory. It's been ungodly long time to make. So do with that information what you will. See ya. Oh, also, before I go, actually, I didn't know if I showed you the power or not. We're getting a power boost of 4,900 now from the summer soup thing. And now we have a capacity of just over 54,000. And we're consuming, you know, I think like 7,500 tops. Kind of looking like 7,400 tops here. So now we have more than enough power to make our mega factory and run the trains and everything. But if you remember before I cut last time, our max capacity was like 3,000 or 4,000 over. So now we are good to go.